that get the men that they want or get any type of man that they do want is the ones that understand dudes. And it's like you have to understand that men like fuck you and leave because you're not putting value on yourself as a whole, or you don't exhibit value of yourself as a whole. So it's like, I'm gonna use a plate of food as an example, right? Now, if you have a nice dinner, right, the guy is gonna eat the whole plate of dinner. You see what I'm saying? He's gonna eat the steak. He's gonna eat the vegetables and the rice and all of that stuff, right? But if you have a plate of dinner and the steak is not cooked, you know what I'm saying? And the rice is like all half cooked and it's all hard and shit. And the only thing that's good is the vegetables. He's just gonna eat the vegetables and leave the plate alone. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's the same thing where a guy gets with a chick and he's like, let me see what she's about. Then you start yapping, you start doing dumb shit, you start, going crazy, acting stupid. He's just going to take the sex and leave the rest alone. And this is why men do that. So you have to realize that your whole self has to be valuable, not just the pussy. So if you're with the dude most times, and then dudes are just fucking you and leaving and fucking you and leaving and fucking you and leaving, it's like you got to ask yourself, like, why? You know what I'm saying? It's like, so you got to ask yourself, why is it that all these dudes are just fucking and leaving? Because the thing is that a guy, he's gonna stay because he wants to pussy. Fuck you because he wants to pussy. It's fine. But if you're a dope chick, like you got shit going on, you got shit to offer, this guy is not gonna want to leave because he knows that in general, there's a lot of women out there that don't have shit to offer. So if he finds a woman that does have shit to offer, he's not going to leave. So you have to realize that you have to have value overall. You see what I'm saying? Because men in general, we look at your pussy as valuable. Like a guy's like, well, she got pussy, she got, But then a lot of times, especially when men start to mature, they're not going to just go for that anyway. So then you really got to step your game up. The older that these men get, because they're like, okay, well, yeah, you got pussy, but these other girls got pussy, and a lot of dudes that, grow older get a little bit more game and understand women and understand how to get women, so they're not going to go for just you having pussy. That's not going to work anymore. You know what I'm saying?
The vagina is not enough.
Exactly.
And another thing women don't realize is that the vagina has never actually been enough.
Exactly.
It's something that all men want because, just physically sex feels good and we want sex fine. But truthfully speaking, like if a man is like if a really sensible dude, like a well balanced dude out there, and most guys in general, whether we know it or not, we're not really just trying to fuck. Like really, you see what I'm saying? That's the real truth. We're not really just trying to fuck. We're actually trying to find somebody interesting that we can, relate to. That's what we're really trying to find.
It's true, because what's funny? And I didn't want to interrupt you, but just on that note, the funny part is that a lot of times when men are in relationships, where you see how like men, like in general, if they're just single and they're going around flirting with chicks, like they're like, oh yeah, let's fuck. But when they get in a relationship, it's like you're sharing so much more things that you're not as like hyped to fuck as you used to be because you have so much more other things going on with your woman. So it's like, yeah, you love the sex, but it's not in the same urgency as before you were single. So like you were saying, that is that we're not just trying to fuck at the end of the day. We want to find somebody to fuck with. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
exactly.
That's what you're gonna do.
Because how there are some women out there who it's like they won't talk to you unless you buy them a drink.
Yeah.
See, in a lot of ways, you can relate that drink to a night of sex because it's basically just a formality for us to get to know each other. That's all it really is. It's just a formality for us to get to know each other. And sex is really important. So it's like if we have sex and it's not good, then it's going to be hard for us to continue on to get to know you because sex is important. So if we have sex and it's not good, then we're not going to want to continue getting to know you. And that's really what it is. You see what I'm saying? But if we meet, we talk for a little while at the bar, we exchange numbers, and we have sex within that week. If the sex is good, more than likely I will, if the sex is good and the conversation is all right and we can relate on different levels and we have a couple of things in common, more than likely I will call you after. You see what I'm saying? But what a lot of these women don't realize is that they don't take the time to make themselves more valuable or more interesting beyond their vagina. They really don't.
Exactly.
They come out, they dress real provocative, and they boost up their titties and they accentuate their hips and they wear the tightest fucking thing they could find, and then the guy has sex with them, but after he begins to speak to them, all she's into is makeup and probably fashion and shopping, and that's it. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? I'm a guy. Like, I do different shit. Like, what am I supposed to do with that?
Exactly.
All you want to do is just put on makeup and go shopping. Like, that's not gonna keep me here. Like, you have to be doing more than that. Like, you have to know something about sports. Probably you got to know how to cook. You got to want to do something that I don't have to necessarily spend a lot of money to actually be with you or spend time with you. Like, we need to do things. We need to relate as people. That's what it really is. The sex is just a formality. Just like how a woman expects you to buy her a drink or open the door for her or pull out her chair when y'all sit down to have dinner, sex is a formality for the guys. So we get that out the way, and once we get that out the way and figure out that you're more interesting than just the pussy or just the vagina or just the sex, then we can move on to something else. But a lot of you chicks, you don't take the time to make yourselves more interesting than your vagina, and that's the problem.
Exactly, and the thing is, just like, and bouncing off of that is that, and this is why I tell women that it's a myth when they say, oh, I'm going to let a guy wait, and if I make him wait for the ass, then he's going to stay because I made him wait and all this other bullshit. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not about you waiting and all this other shit. It's about if we like you as a person, like we know that we see if you got shit going on, that's what's going to make us want to stay with you. Because I remember one time I was at this spot, and I'm talking to this girl, and I'm like, we talking, and I'm like, so, what are your hobbies? Like, what do you do? She's like, oh, I don't have any hobbies. I don't do anything. You know what I mean? I'm like, so what are you trying to, do in your life? She's like, I don't know, just whatever. And it's just like, she had nothing, like, interesting to say, nothing to go for. But she was hot. She was hot as hell. So in my mind, I'm saying, look, I'll fuck the shit out you, but I don't really want to see you after that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's because she has nothing going for her.
No, man, let me tell you. I have a friend who broke up with his girlfriend, and the reason why he broke up with his girlfriend is because she didn't have any hobbies. And let me explain. This guy, he had a passion that he explored. He was into music, so he would always be making beats or doing whatever he was doing on his computer. And because she didn't have any hobbies, she would come over to his house and see him on his computer, making beats or mixing music or whatever the hell he was doing. And all she really thought he was doing was just playing around on his computer. She didn't realize that he actually had a passion for doing what he was doing. And she herself, all she had was her job. So she would leave her job, come home, and sit and try to get attention from this guy. But while he's exploring his passion and doing his music and all of this and all of that, she was getting upset with him for not spending time with her and not showing her any attention. And he said to her, we spend time, we do things, we date, we go out, we do things, but I can't spend all my time with you because I have this other passion. So he told her, he suggested to her that she find something to do, join the gym, get fit, or join a cooking club or whatever the fuck you want to do. Find out something that you like to do, that you can explore for yourself and grow as a person, and then we can share those things together. And then, but she didn't do that. She kept sitting around and kept getting frustrated with him for exploring his passion while she wasn't exploring any of her passions, and they ended up breaking up because of the shit. So that's why he's like, women, like, really, you have to be interesting. You have to be able to be appealing to a guy. You have to be appealing to a guy beyond the sex, because basically, if you're a chick that a guy leaves right after he fucks you, that means you're not interesting.